Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about, well, the conversation starts off by The Masked Singer, but then we go on to talking about the reality TV and specifically the shows I Am Jazz and Thousand Pound Sisters, and how reality TV and competition shows force storylines onto people. And yeah, my special guests are Jacob again and Emily, and I hope you enjoy. No, I'm not editing. I'm not good at it. Hi, welcome back.
I have to say something to you.
No.
Don't make me.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Masked
Yes.
today.
Epic.
I hate the show. I watch it though, even though I hate it.
I mean,
It
you
just-
watch Drag Race and you hate it.
I do hate Drag Race and I watch it. But so the
I
Masked.
thought you liked the other seasons, just not this season of Drag Race.
What?
I thought you liked the other seasons of Drag Race, just not the current one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. But like
I mean-
the Masked Singer, it was okay, and now it's just like really bad.
I feel like it started out as a great idea and then just went downhill.
Yeah. I think it's because they realized like, oh, big celebrities don't want to do this.
They need public.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
literally though, some of the people on it, it's like, do you really consider them celebrities?
Exactly. Like.
Isn't that the whole point of the show? To have celebrities sing and you try to guess who the celebrity is?
Yeah.
If they're not really a celebrity, like what's the point of the show then?
Exactly.
Also, isn't it just inherently unfair? Like Leanne Rimes, like a professional singer, like
Oh yeah.
you really thought she was gonna lose that show?
No.
Like you really thought, like, oh, everyone's like so good. Bitch, I knew she was gonna win.
Oh exactly.
As soon as she started singing, as soon as the sun started singing, I'm like, she's winning. She's
Yeah.
a trained singer. She's winning the show.
Season 2, I remember Wayne Brady winning, and I was like, I know that this is Wayne Brady from the beginning, and he's gonna win because he sings. Like,
Yeah, like
I feel like so many of them you already know who it is.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then the judges are just that
First
bad.
performance.
Yeah,
You're like, oh my god, I know who that is.
exactly.
Like
And-
when it was JoJo Siwa, I heard 10 seconds of her singing and I was like, that's JoJo
Oh
Siwa.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
He just killed a bug.
You bothered me. Sorry.
But like, yeah, it's so obvious. And then they put on stupid people like Sarah Palin and Rudy Giuliani, and then
Yeah,
I
they need
just-
controversy.
I know they need
to keep the show
controversy.
alive. That's
But that's the thing. Like, do you even consider Sarah Palin or Rudy Giuliani a celebrity?
they
No.
are objectively. They
Because in
are.
my opinion, I don't. They're politicians. They're
Yeah,
not supposed to have like
that's-
celebrity
That's the
status.
real question.
There's a difference between public figure and a celebrity.
Yeah,
Exactly.
are
Celebrities
political figures celebrities?
Yeah, like
No.
you can be a celebrity.
No.
Celebrities are public figures, but not all public figures are celebrities.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, they are both out in the public
Mhm.
and in the public eye and scrutinized, but they're not like celebrities as we see them, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, as we define them by societal standards, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because celebrities are people who like are in the public eye, but they also do like influencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah.
it's
And you usually have a talent, unless you're Kim Kardashian.
yeah, like you know that those two people
Period, though.
clearly don't have talent. Like they
Yeah.
were awful at singing.
They are also surrounded by so much controversy, and I don't know if that would bring good light necessarily to the show.
No, it didn't. It
doesn't.
didn't.
Obviously.
They got so much. So the Rudy Giuliani one happened last episode, and Ken Jeong literally walked out, and it's like
Yeah.
why
I would have walked out too.
Yeah.
like why would you pick it? Like even Nick Cannon, when he got revealed, the audience like didn't barely applaud, and Nick Cannon was like, "We're just shocked." And it's like, why would you pick why would you pick a public figure that would not? It just wasn't good. Like why do
I feel
that?
like they have this mentality for shows like this where it's like any press is good press, even though when they have people like Sarah Palin, Rudy Giuliani, and even Nick Cannon, because he's had his fair share of controversy.
Oh
too.
yeah, exactly.
So that's bad press for the show.
Yeah.
But because they're getting any press at all, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's good. More people are gonna watch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's why Maddie Moses was cast in season
Oh
four.
yeah, for
For
real.
reality shows.
She was a token.
Yeah, a token straight person.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's like the reality shows always cast some controversial figurehead because it will bring more attention. Not in a positive way, but attention, watch time. That it doesn't matter
I
what.
just feel like that's such a bad mindset to have when you're trying to produce a show.
It destroys your loyal fan base.
Exactly. And you want like quality content over just like bad controversies surrounding your show, because your show's not going to keep going if you have so much of this like bad press coming.
It's like Roseanne. Like I remember when Roseanne got canceled and they changed the show completely, and my parents weren't happy about it, but I was like, it needs to happen. Like she's not a good person.
See, I think in that case, like that was a good decision. And honestly,
yeah,
I think people have still watched it, so they still have that like base of people watching it, and they made the right decision in that case.
Oh yeah,
it wouldn't have the bad press.
Yeah.
I think it was smart through, is it ABC who?
I think it's ABC.
I think it was smart in their choice to be like, we know the fans love the show.
Exactly.
So why not just get rid of the character? And it's like,
exactly. I feel like if they hadn't done that, the show probably wouldn't have been able to continue for that much longer.
Exactly. Yeah. She literally like left the country, I think. Like it was that. It was that. It's like why would Fox deliberately pick them? Like,
I mean, I understand that like Fox News is more centered towards the right, but that doesn't mean everything on your media channel as a whole needs to be like right centered, because I know both Rudy Giuliani and Sarah Palin are definitely more right centered.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
That's why everyone in the audience was shocked, because the show. And then Ken, I was shocked that not more of them walked out at the end. I really thought.
I mean, honestly, if I was a judge, I would have walked out. I feel like if I was in the audience, I would have literally applauded Ken for walking out.
Yeah. Because
I would have walked out with him.
Sarah Palin is more like old news, so I get why they didn't walk out for her at the time. But like Rudy Giuliani causes so much debate in the public that it's like, why would you support that?
Exactly.
On their show.
I mean, in my opinion, he's just really not a good person.
No.
And I don't understand why you would want that type of person on your show.
Yeah.
Just kind of show that, oh, hey, like we're okay with having these types of people on our show and we don't really care.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't understand. And then I saw an interesting thing on the article where Fox viewed Sarah Palin and like the publicity that she gave towards the show is not enough, because it happened. I remember that episode happened right before COVID, and then Tom Hanks got COVID, and then the media went all crazy for Tom Hanks. And so Fox wasn't happy with how little like response they got back from Sarah Palin being on The Masked Singer. So they wanted to bring someone else.
I mean, I guess I sort of understand the mindset behind that, but at the same time, any of the press she was getting was probably not that good.
No.
And they have to consider that like their show isn't end all be all. And there are other like real world issues going on. So obviously if there's something a bit more important, and I would think COVID is like extremely important.
Oh yeah.
That obviously that attention that you want for your show is going to be taken away by a global pandemic.
Yeah. It's just like, well, when I think about it, like the demographic for this show is probably kids, right?
Oh, for sure.
So like,
it's more of middle age.
Really?
I think it's younger adults.
I think it would be like a mix of everyone.
I think they would have a pretty good like
they had JoJo.
base of watchers that are like younger.
Yeah, but if you think about the just because it's one, it's being more tailored towards, but inherently it's not. I didn't know some of the characters from the first few seasons.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, they're trying to have like a variety of people come on so they can kind of tailor it to any age audience.
Yeah,
So,
like I feel like,
well, obviously that's going to be tailored towards younger people, but like other people like Rudy Giuliani, that's probably more tailored towards like older people because they would know who he is.
at the same time, do you want having them be on The Masked Singer views them in a positive way?
Exactly. So I feel like one, that's giving the show bad press, but it's giving the person themselves unnecessary good press in a way because they're letting them have a platform when they don't need a platform.
Yeah, they don't.
Because their viewpoints that they have shared have been, a lot of them have been proven false, and they're just very wrong opinions, you know?
Yeah, they are wrong. What was another show that had a lot of
Because honestly, I was kind of thinking also America's Got Talent. Not America's Got Talent.
Voice.
The Voice?
Simon Cowell.
America's Got Talent.
No, it's not. That's Katy Perry, Luke Bryan.
That's American Idol.
Oh, American. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, America's Got Talent is the one with Howie. What happened there?
So, I mean, I was just kind of thinking on the whole thing about Simon Cowell with AGT.
What happened?
And how there was a lot of, I don't know how recent this was. Maybe this was like about a year or two ago, but there was a lot of stuff coming out about him. And you know how he like signs on a lot of people who are on AGT?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of bad press coming out about him, how he was making them sign NDAs.
Oh.
And there was a huge thing about One Direction because he signed them.
Yeah.
And some articles were coming out saying that One Direction kind of broke up because they couldn't handle being managed under Simon Cowell because of how horrible he was. And now they can't talk about it anymore because they all signed NDAs. And they all ended up having solo careers because they obviously still wanted to sing, but they can't come. Some people are saying they can't come back together as a band unless they want to be under Simon Cowell again.
I have two things to say about that. First of all, honestly, I think One Direction was pretty overrated. I really don't care the fact that they got away. Second of all, what solo careers? The only one that actually had a career was Harry Styles.
False. No.
I know the others.
Zayn and Louis had solo careers too.
And Niall.
Niall.
Are they popular?
Obviously, the one who
if they
had the biggest solo career was Harry.
They would not be popular.
I know Harry had the biggest, but Niall.
They still are making music and they're pretty popular themselves as well.
I literally swear, I bet on this. If they would not associate to One Direction, no one would care about anyone else but Harry Styles.
They all individually have great voices. So I think they will each have kind of their own fan base. Obviously, Harry's is probably bigger than the rest, but they still each have like a decent following.
But I don't know. That one's...
How much of that following is built on the fact that they are associated with Harry Styles, though?
0.
Is it because they're associated with Harry Styles or associated with
One Direction? There's a difference.
You're associated with One Direction, meaning we're associated with Harry Styles.
That's assuming.
You also have to realize, though, when
That's assuming that the only reason why people are listening to One Direction is for Harry Styles.
That is very much could be
People
true.
could be listening to One Direction just because great band.
So
I've had friends that were exclusively loving One Direction. They loved it, and the only reason why they liked it was because they liked Harry Styles.
Well, I'm not.
Okay.
So
no, you're not.
Just to add to this,
friends when they were
take up.
Yeah. I'm just being honest. I'm being photo facts you guys don't want to admit.
Stop interrupting me.
I was talking first.
Girl, I've been trying to talk for the last 5 minutes.
You're trying to stop talking.
Okay. Anyways,
Continue though. Yeah.
continue.
You also have to realize though, when they were originally on AGT, like when they auditioned, most of them auditioned as soloists. They
Yeah.
didn't audition as a group until Simon put them together.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't they put them together and then they put a girl group together?
Yeah,
I remember that.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It off too well.
Wasn't it Fifth Harmony?
No, Fifth Harmony's American.
No, there was.
Was it that, or was it
Let me look this up. Hold on.
the UK version of? I call them the UK version of Fifth Harmony, but that's not it.
I know it's
Little
not
Mix. Little Mix.
Little Mix.
Is that it?
Oh, it could have been. Yeah.
Let
I think
me-
it might have actually
Let me
been.
fact check that.
Little Mix is actually. I actually really do like.
Because they were on. I want to say they were on Britain's Got Talent,
Yeah, they all were.
They're UK based.
but there's I think they split up more recently.
I'm gonna look at their Wikipedia.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
they were.
Little
It
Mix.
was X Factor. They were on X
Oh,
Factor.
yeah.
Oh, that's also with Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
somehow.
They split
Simon
up more
Cowell
recently, and there was a lot of stuff surrounding their split up too, because the one girl who left, she now has like a bit of a solo career, but there was a lot of stuff coming out about her, how she was like severely cyberbullied by people.
Well,
Isn't that normal?
yeah.
That is.
I don't know.
normal.
I don't know. There was like a whole thing about it, and there was like, I think she came out with like a documentary about it too.
Ooh, I should watch that.
I hate that. Why?
It was a documentary or like a interview
Wait.
with someone.
I'm interested.
I watched it. It was actually pretty
Like, that's
interesting.
Oh, you
cyberbullying,
watched
that's
it?
all.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What was it about? Hogan Cyborg?
She just kind of talked about her time on the X Factor, and then her time when she was with Little Mix, and then what she kind of wanted to focus on going forward.
Not gonna lie, that all could have been done in a YouTube video, not a documentary.
I don't know if it was like officially
But-
a documentary or an interview, but I'm pretty sure it's just on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
One
Perfect then.
I wouldn't say this is more of a controversy on the person, but more on
Yeah.
like people in general for being rude. But like, I know when Jazz Jennings, completely off topic, but I love TLC. But when
No,
Jazz
same. That's my
Jennings
favorite channel.
when Jazz Jennings came out with the trailer and like showed her being fat. Have you ever heard about
I know
this?
it's my 600-pound life. and
Jazz
I know.
Jennings. Jazz Jennings is a girl. She had a show called I Am Jazz where she showed her transition from
Is
male.
her show not on anymore?
I heard of that.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, good. Okay.
I watch it.
I
Anyway,
love that show.
she became fat because she got depressed. Which
Maybe that's
story
why-
of my life. But anyways,
Doesn't that also have to do with some of the hormonal like treatments she was
Yeah.
on too?
Like, yeah,
I don't
more
rem-
prone to gain weight.
when I watched the show, no, male to female.
Male to female? Oh, okay. No, I don't think on estrogen. No. On testosterone, yes.
But like, so I watched the new season, and it was because of college. She said that
Yeah.
college became too much for her, so she went and she kept on having these really bad panic attacks every day.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
So she would go home. But I remember like seeing that and like my parents laughing at her and being like, "Wow, she got fat," and I was like,
What?
"We're fat," and I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, that's like, I remember seeing on Twitter like a mixed reaction of her being fat, and I was like, why are we having mixed feelings about this? Like, she's a human.
I mean, this could start a whole nother conversation where we could talk forever about this, but I mean, it's mainly because as a society, especially as an American society, we have not fully kind of accepted and embraced people for who they like are. You know how there's like the body positivity movement, and like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you can be healthy in any type of body shape, size, whatever. It's like we don't fully recognize that. So I think it's hard for people to have a positive reaction when we haven't fully accepted everyone as a society, you know?
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are so quick to judge people on when they gain weight, even if
Oh,
it's the slightest amount.
absolutely. Oh,
You'll see it on Drag Race too.
I know.
There's a
People.
following.
So,
Like,
but then
why
I
is that the
remember
first thing you care about?
specifically people were being mad about her gaining weight because they view it as she already went, like, shouldn't she be comfortable in her body already? And like
That's not what depression is.
but like people don't
understand
people
mental
don't
illness.
realize depression, like people
No
don't
one,
realize
I
that
think so many people don't understand the full extent of what depression can do to you and to your body.
yeah, people don't correlate depression with binge eating and then
Or
you
really
gaining
anything.
Well, so
tons
I
of
mean, with my I've done a lot of psychological research and I might end up double majoring in psych, but
Mhm.
comorbidity, which means when two things are kind of like intertwined almost with each other,
Mhm.
is extremely prevalent in many mental illnesses, and depression, I'm pretty sure, has a pretty high comorbidity rate for types of stuff like binge eating or anorexia or anxiety. Because for me personally, having ADHD has a very, very high comorbidity rate for any type of mental illness.
Yeah, I found as suffering from depression, I've always found that it's more common to suffer from depression plus something else than just depression alone.
Exactly.
It's
It's
like-
very, very common.
It's hard to differentiate. People just assume depression is just an upset feeling.
Exactly.
That's just sad. That's it. That's all it
They
is.
don't fully
There's
understand
nothing.
how deep it can go and the extent of how much it can affect your entire life.
Yeah, I've been told constantly that I'm just a lazy person for not being I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are just times where I just cannot bring myself to
There
do
are
it.
so many stereotypes. They're like, oh, you're just sad, but that's not what depression is. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain.
But yeah, and then it just, yeah, I remember seeing that, and then the show really played into it,
Okay.
really played into her gaining the weight.
Isn't that just bullying? That is
Yes,
just
it
bullying.
is.
Do you think them kind of playing into her gaining weight was more of a reaction to how the public was
Yeah,
kind of reacting to it?
absolutely. I think they knew that the public wanted to see why.
Comments about it.
So do you think
And
they
then-
exaggerated some stuff, or?
Oh, absolutely. I remember this one scene where she was in the grocery store and
Mhm.
she was apparently, I don't want to assume that she wasn't, but she was freaking out about not buying healthy stuff. So she called her mom
Mhm.
and she's like, I know what to buy, but I want to buy all the other stuff. And I don't know. I mean, if I went to the grocery store, I don't feel like I would have that problem. So I feel like that was something
So
exaggerated.
if she, I mean, yes, obviously that could have been exaggerated, but if she does suffer from panic attacks and panic disorder, that can be almost like a manifestation of her panic disorder. So when she's in the grocery store, she kind of has a lot of anxiety.
It wasn't
and
necessarily
panics around
freaking out.
food.
It was her just being like, ooh, this looks really good. And then her mom would have to be like, no, Jazz, you can't buy that. It wasn't really panic, I wouldn't say.
I mean, there is
Okay.
those suffering from most notably binge eating disorder. There was this massive depressive feeling afterwards, but there's also this mental buildup towards I know I should not be doing this, and then there's the caving in, and then that could very much be a lead up to.
It's even though she knows she's not supposed to eat it or whatever, she wants to, and if she suffers from binge eating disorder, like Jacob said, she will cave in and get those.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she has it, but those are it
No.
could very much be the case because that does remind me of it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole season basically
Especially with how
talked
they're
about
saying
her
it.
cravings. Yeah.
Especially if they
I mean,
mention
that could also spark another conversation about the whole diet culture in America and how most fad diets or even regular diets in general that you may want to go on, they're designed to fail.
Yeah.
they're unsustainable.
And that's why the diet market or industry makes so much money each year because people keep failing their diets because they're not meant to succeed.
No, they're not sustainable. Like in order for like a diet to be successful, I'm talking about diet just as in like what you eat on a daily basis, different from the restriction diet. But in order for a diet to remain like this, like the same, or like to actually persist in life, is to be stable. Like you have to be able to want to eat the food. Like you can't force yourself to eat something because it's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Like the whole like water fast for like days, and then like if I did that, I would have probably killed Hayley by now. I don't think I would have survived.
Exactly.
I would be dead. Like I would not survive on that.
Well, so many diets heavily rely on like calorie counting or having a caloric deficit, and both of those are super unhealthy because the amount of calories you need is dependent on like your body, your weight, your height, your age. There's so many different factors that contribute to how many calories you need. And then if you do exercise, you have to make sure that you're having enough calories to get through that exercise and then have enough to keep going about your day. So that's why caloric deficits can be really dangerous sometimes. If you're not eating enough, you can have serious health effects.
I can actually comment on this because I used to. So I told you I've lost weight, 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I was on an extremely restrictive diet. I had literally 3 meals a day and everything would be exactly the same. I lost 40 pounds within 3 months, which is ridiculous, insane.
Yeah.
So after my jaw surgery, I lost 20 pounds because I wasn't allowed to eat any solid foods.
Yeah. So like for me, like counting calories, they aren't entirely terrible, but if I set my mind to I have to restrict, it gets really bad. Like if I restrict, I'm restricted.
Mentally unhealthy. So many people start, when they go on these types of diets, they'll start obsessing over the calories. And it's like you don't want to focus on the calories, you want to focus on the types of nutrients and the types of important aspects of your diet that you need to get in, Don't focus on the calories, focus on the amount of carbs you're getting in, the amount of sugar, the amount of fat, the amount of like iron, vitamin A, all of that stuff.
It's not even just that. I remember what frustrated me is that like all she gained was 100 pounds. And now I know it seems like a lot.
100 is quite a bit. But like I don't see
she was skinny before. I'm not gonna lie.
Significant amount, obviously, but
I weigh like 230 pounds, and I was like,
but it's not enough to be
frustrated a little bit.
I feel like I understand what you're saying. Like 100 pounds obviously is a significant amount of weight, but in the context of how she was obviously skinny before this, it's not going to cause like super severe health problems. Whereas in other people, like if we go on TLC and we talk about like 1,000-pound sisters.
100 pounds for them is much more drastic.
100 pounds is extremely dangerous for someone like Tammy.
Well, of course.
Versus Jazz.
Even Amy.
Yeah. Even Amy. If Amy gained 100 pounds again, Dr. Proctor is not happy.
If either of them gains like even like a 10-pound weight gain is extreme for either of those two, and it can be really dangerous.
And you also have to think of like the pressure on like for example like joints is multiplied by 4. Like, but it's just like that type of show. Weight, it's gonna be even more of a multiplication than someone at a lower weight going up to a higher weight.
But it's just like that type of show where it's like she like during the whole season she like tries to diet and like live a healthy lifestyle, but yet you have Tammy who's on 1,000-pound sisters, and people are happy when she gains weight. Like they play into it, but with like her, people are still giving her negativity with Jazz about her weight, even though when she's trying to be healthier.
Yeah, I feel like Jazz really just needs to it
plays on the double standard that we have as a society.
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting.
Sorry, you can go.
But then it makes you think like, did TLC want her? Like, did TLC want her to gain more weight? Did they want them to have this story arc of I'm sad and depressed?
That's what makes you wonder about reality TV these days is like,
Yeah.
how much of an actual reality is it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
how much
Reality and
is
competition.
it the companies like playing into different story arcs and kind of pushing these agendas to
Yeah.
have a reality TV show go a certain way?
I mean, honestly, if we think about it, like 1,000 pound sisters, if Tammy lost weight, what would the show do? The show
Exactly.
would not continue. They would not let her.
No, they wouldn't let her. Like, I even know now, because I follow her on TikTok, but Tammy has literally the, like, thing, a trank. Is that what
A
it's called?
trach?
Tracheotomy?
Yeah, like the tube
hole
for
in
her.
it?
Yeah, she has one
A tracheotomy,
permanently.
yeah.
Permanent. And they're like, she's like, I can't, TLC told me I can't show from my face down so that I can reveal what my body looks like on the show. And it's like, it's that type of stuff where
Isn't
it's
that
like,
just disgusting?
It starts out like good, but then it just gets to a point where the TLC or any network, to be honest,
yeah,
becomes extremely almost controlling of every aspect of their lives. So it's not really a reality TV show anymore.
no,
And it's not actually helpful. Like in Thousand Pound Sisters, the whole main point of the show originally was they were going to work hard to try and lose this weight so they could like
yeah, like
stay alive, to be honest.
exactly. I have been watching from the beginning, and
It's just become so convoluted at this point.
it makes me upset that you can tell they're forcing two different story arcs of like, oh, Amy's thriving and losing weight and becoming a mother and following her dreams, while Tammy's sinking and gaining weight and
Dying.
drinking herself to death. And it's like, I don't want that. Like,
Nobody wants to see someone with her weight.
No one wants to see, especially sisters. Like, they're close. Why would you do
Exactly.
that to them?
Yeah, Amy absolutely hates it, but like she has nothing. She can't help.
Yeah,
she has child.
And I feel like with that kind of almost pitting them against each other, that's brought out more of this defensive side of Tammy. And obviously both of them have significant trauma from being raised by their grandma and having their parents pass away at a young age. And then the only good part of this like current season that's going on is them kind of talking about Tammy's food addiction, because that's like a real issue that I think people don't always realize can be an issue.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that they do talk about it, but the overall kind of point of the show, I think, has just been lost.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I remember when she got like those boyfriends of hers, and obviously it's bad, right? It's bad, but the way that the family and the show made the family go about it was awful. You don't do that. You don't degrade.
And that's gonna push her to an extreme.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna continue that toxic cycle.
Pattern. You don't degrade someone's choice to an extent where you make them feel like everything they choose is wrong. I feel like if they went about it at a different way,
then she goes on the defensive and feels like everything they say to her is a direct attack.
Yeah, it happens I love the show. Don't get me wrong. Love 1,000 Pound Sisters.
My bills are paid.
I do too.
But they just all, I don't know. The show, you can tell the show.
I feel like a lot of it's becoming more forced now.
Yeah, especially like they still have like their character. They're still their charm, and that's why I'm clicking to watch. Like, I love Chris.
Yeah,
because I feel like Chris doesn't play into the game's bullshit.
Chris, it's really, I think he's probably one of my favorites, because he's like, I will not have you telling me what to do.
And then, like, I don't really like how they're bringing up Tammy being bi. Like, I have no idea why that
come from?
I don't understand why that would
play into
be an important part of the show. If it comes up in something that they're discussing, like without being forced, fine.
Yeah.
But the fact they like continually bring it up, it feels like it's just an extra thing that they're making her add, you know?
Exactly.
That's why I don't like a lot of reality TV shows these days, because they start out as like, they may start out kind of like more innocent and be actually real TV, like real live reality TV.
Yeah.
But then they turn into these like awful shows
like
where the network starts controlling them. Like I Am Jazz, 1,000 Pound Sisters,
Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo, for sure.
That's
Plus
the
Eight.
ideal one.
I feel like any reality.
Kate Plus 8 too.
What?
Kate Plus 8.
Oh,
the
yeah.
one- and
Kate Plus Eight.
what is that one that they
Daughtered?
like outdaughtered?
Oh, outdaughtered. That's the one with the quintuplets, right?
I thought that was the Busbys. Isn't that a different show?
Like
There's so many of them at this point.
There's like 5.
16 and pregnant.
Ooh, 16 and pregnant is too real. Too real. But like, reality and competition TV are like getting to the point where it's like,
You know it's all staged.
yeah, and it's just
Dance Moms too.
oh,
I know that's not around anymore, but like
yeah, I don't watch Dance Moms, but
Oh God, not this.
I would watch it like in the original seasons, and then I watched like clips of the very last season that they had, and I hated it.
How'd that bitch get in a wheelchair?
which one?
The main character,
Abby Lee?
She's in a wheelchair.
Isn't
Yeah. She's in
Yeah.
a wheelchair because she was in she either had a really bad health issue come up that caused her to be paralyzed, or
Lies.
got in an accident while she was in jail.
I was like one season, I like,
You know she was in jail, right?
and then I skipped the part, and
How
I
could
didn't
you-
know it's a
She
wheelchair.
committed tax fraud and like tax evasion, so she went to jail.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
It does.
And she literally, it happened while they were like taking a break from the show, basically when she was in jail. There was either an accident or something happened that basically caused her to, one, lose all her hair. She wears a wig. And two, she's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wow.
And her mood
Wow.
is not any better. I'll give you.
No. So that's why there was, did you not see that? There was a TikTok
No.
where Wendy Williams was like, I go to the gay club and guess who I see? Abby Lee Miller in her wheelchair.
Oh my god. That's
Honestly,
kind of
I
iconic.
see that
A little bit.
Right?
I see that for Wendy and Abby.
I see it.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I don't know. I feel like it plays into all, like, there's ways network TV could go about things. And I feel like ABC did really well with the Connors. And then you have like Masked Singer and TLC who like make it go to shit.
Yeah.
And it's just disappointing at this point.
Disappointing because there's so much potential for shows like reality TV to go,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like actually.
and it ends up being networks controlling, or people who get almost like power hungry, or
Oh
money
yeah.
hungry.
kind of let the fame get to their head, and it just becomes something that's just no one wants to watch it.
Yeah. It's
We're missing the reality and reality TV shows.
we really are.
Exactly.
We really are. It's like, I don't know. I love reality
There's a
TV.
push for storylines that the producers believe would be successful when
Like,
actually we just want.
I understand you want something more exciting, but like it's the mundane stuff that's what's real
Good.
life, and that's like you want to see real authentic people, you know?
I mean,
So if they're just having a day where they go to the grocery store, whatever.
Yeah.
that's
That's
why.
Do
why I
that
love my
instead of
600
pushing
pound
someone
life.
else
That's
to
so.
do something.
Yeah.
is-
Like my 600 pound life,
They don't
perfect.
cut- They don't hold back.
Oh, I love the doctor in that show.
they're honest.
Dr.
It's
Now.
great. I love how it just focuses on one person each episode. in that it shows their raw truth. They show them like cheating. They show them not following the diet. They show people enabling them. I'm like, yes, give it to me.
And it doesn't
But
show
then
them
you-
in a good light.
But
It's
then
not
you have
always
My
in a good light.
1,000 Pound Sisters where they're just saying that Amy's enabling Tammy. And it's like, I want to see it. I want to see
Yeah.
me give
Yeah,
Tammy.
I want to see this hard evidence that you're
I mean,
pushing this narrative.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Obviously,
Obviously,
we're not
something
saying
has-
that it's not happening.
And it's definitely not Chris. It definitely is not Chris.
Definitely not Chris. Chris is.
I'm not saying it's not happening, but it's like you have to provide more context to what you're saying instead of just saying it and then making a lot of people think you're just pushing a
Yeah.
narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Like that vacation that they had at the cabin and how Tammy didn't want to go. It's like, how much do I really believe that?
Exactly. Like, yes, maybe there was some part of her that didn't want to go, but
Yeah,
I feel like that was very over exaggerated to the point where it was just like, why would anyone believe that?
yeah.
They made it the whole episode.
Yeah, they're making, again, Tammy look like a bad character who's like a crab ass.
I mean, Tammy is not a great person.
No, I'm not saying that.
None of us
I'm
are
just
saying that.
I'm making
But
sure
there's a
people know.
point for where like
There's a
it's
point where
the
she
real
can't
person
be
who
the
has
scapegoat for everything.
Villainizing.
it's
You're
a
turning
it's
a real person
villainizing.
into a villain.
there's a point where it's a real person who
You can't put Tammy under the bus for everything.
no, and yet they do. And are we saying that the family puts her under the bus? No, but the
The TV
show
buries her
definitely
ass.
does.
They put it
Exactly.
around.
It's like it's just so annoying.
And that, like, pushing that narrative in real life, that will cause strain and stress between the family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it will cause any, like, because Tammy has been pretty open that she struggles mentally.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anything that she is dealing with mentally will be heightened if they are pushing this narrative on to
I mean,
her
at this
and
point,
using
Tammy-
her as a scapegoat, essentially.
Yeah,
At this point,
Literally.
Tammy is just alone. No one. It literally seems like nobody likes her
except the nurse.
except Tammy.
It
Tammy,
seems like she's being
The nurse loves her.
isolated from everyone and kind of turned into this like, oh, she's a terrible person, like we don't want to be around her anymore. They're literally isolating her from her biggest support system, which is her family.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
literally in a hospital
how's she gonna improve if she
doing
has no
these
support?
TikToks.
Like, clearly, Tammy doesn't have enough motivation on herself by herself,
No.
internal motivation to be doing the changes.
Which is fine.
Yeah, a lot of
You
people
need
struggle.
that support. You need to have someone to be a support system for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't just use yourself, because with something that significant, you need to have a good support system. And when your support system is cut off from you, obviously that's
But like,
gonna
sure,
push you
I-
back.
I get that they're pushing that the family's tired of dealing with Tammy's shit, and that's
Yeah.
why they're like giving up. But it's like, that's like, it can't, there's no way it can be that dramatic. In real
Exactly.
life.
Yeah.
But what they're dramatizing on the TV in real life is pushing them farther and farther away from each other.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because then you have people react to the TV, and then they start to think, oh, is that really how we act around each other? And then they go like, oh, it
Yeah.
might be. Their feedback is like, everyone reacting to this might be right. And then it's like just a whole cycle. And I love reality TV, but yet,
It's just become such a mess.
yeah, it really does.
My favorite quote, it's become a dumpster fire.
Not this.
Not this. Jan,
It's
Anyways.
gay. It's gay.
it's Drag
It's-
Race,
it's
but yeah, I think that's a good place to end with
That sounds great.
drag. I think, yeah, competition shows and reality shows are becoming faker by the season.
Mhm.
It makes me want to pull my hair out.
I feel like reality TV shows were built off the fact that people wanted to see
Drama,
just a lot of drama, and thus the reality shows has been shifted from actual reality
the drama.
to
Yeah.
coverage.
Yeah,
I mean, there's obviously so many more things we could probably talk about, and that would take us like days to get through.
yeah,
But I appreciate you having me
yeah.
on here.
of course. So Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.